This is Around and About, focusing on people and events in our community.
Children love to play. Many experts contend that how your child plays can affect early childhood development. Siskin Children's Institute is hosting a free workshop this Thursday about the value of play. Tracy Karish joins us today on Around and About.
My department is Outreach and Adult Education, and what we do is provide a series of courses for parents, professionals about children. So we're teaching the people that work with children how to do that more effectively. And we have 5 different series that are running right now, and we just have workshops kind of throughout the year. We have our early childhood education series, and then we also have our video self-modeling series. We also have a disability awareness series that's just kind of informing people of what the types of disabilities are and what that means for the community and the families. We also have an autism series. Because it is such a hot topic, we've put together 5 sessions going from Autism 101 all the way to positive behavior support tools that families can use. And then finally, we have our parent advocacy series, which is just helping parents be the advocate for their child. What do they need to know? How can they work with teachers and medical staff, work through the education process for their child? All of the outreach sessions that we do are completely free, and we actually are in the process of updating them so they'll all be available online. We've reached several thousand people in this community, and that will expand even more when we make a lot of the online modules available, because we'll be able to reach out beyond the Chattanooga area and get to people that may not have those resources in their local community.
The Brown Bag Workshop tomorrow, October 30th, focuses on the value of play.
That's part of our early childhood education series. In recent years, we've really moved away from play. We're starting to see preschools and kindergartens moving away from free play, unstructured play activities to more formalized lesson plans, curriculum-based, kind of drilling in those cognitive developmental tools that we want the kids to pick up on. And the response to that from experts in the field has been really dramatic. I mean, they've said this is a bad idea. Play is so important. When you know a lot about it, you don't see the child just playing. You see all the things that are actually happening. There's physical development, intellectual development, social skills, speech and language. It's critical that they have that playtime, because if you just go straight to learning the ABCs and learning to count and that kind of stuff, they're going to miss out on some of those foundational skills that they need in order to really learn and understand what those numbers and letters mean. The value of play kind of walks through 4 different areas I mentioned. It talks about the physical development, talks about the intellectual development, social, and speech. And what we do first is talk about, why are these important? What's really happening here? When you see a child running around a playground, yes, obviously they're moving, they're developing gross motor skills, but there are also other things that are happening. Their brain is being developed. There's a ton of research that says when you exercise, your brain is actually being improved. It's being refined. The structure of it is being improved constantly. So children need that at a young age so that the structure of the brain has a good foundation to grow on. We talk about some of the things that aren't quite as obvious. Intellectual development, when you see children playing dress up or pretending to be the teacher or whatever, there's a huge connection there to speech and language development. And there have been many studies that have shown this. There's a book called The Roots of Reading. It's by a bunch of different researchers. It's their empirical studies that they've done showing when a child pretends and when a child develops social skills, this directly contributes to their reading skills later in life. Some of the other tools that we recommend are kind of specific activities. Swinging. Swings are kind of going by the wayside. You're not seeing them as much anymore because there's some safety concerns. There's insurance costs and things like that. A child could get hit or pinch fingers, but they're swaying back and forth. They're using their coordination to pump and balance themselves. Just the concept of movement. How do I go faster? How do I slow myself down? Decision making and things like that. When you watch a child swing, a lot of times they don't see that intellectual activity that's actually happening. Another thing that's really important is sand and water play. Critically to the math and science skills, because you're looking at cause and effect, the concept of prediction. When I tip this cup over, what happens? Well, the water comes out. There's also math skills in place. So, okay, what's half full, half empty, not very much, very little. Those are just foundational things. If all of a sudden you jumped in and you were teaching the kid fractions or, here, 1, 2, 3, without some of those inherent math skills that they learn from just playing with some cups in the sandbox, they wouldn't be able to get it as easily. It would be much harder. They'd just be rote memorization, memorizing numbers. But when they've had that experience of filling up a cup, and now I have 2 cups that are full, and now I have 3 cups that are full, and now I'm going to dump them all out, that's something you can't replace with a book.
The toys you provide for your children can also have an impact on their early development. You might be surprised at the value of simple toys.
It's great to have a cute kitchen set that the child knows, here's a refrigerator, here's the stove, here are all the things that I can do with it. But it's also really important for them to have a cardboard box where they have to say, I think this is going to be my kitchen, and this is where I'm going to have my refrigerator, and this is where I'm going to have my stove. And that creativity is huge. That's a huge part of their development, but you take some of that away when you make it all up for them. In fact, one thing we talk about in the course is a book called Not a Box. It's a cute little book. It's by a woman named Antoinette Portis. It's about going out and getting your kid a box and how that box becomes all these other things. The child is playing with it. Why are you squirting the box? It's not a box, and you turn the page and it's a burning building and he's a firefighter. Why are you sitting in the box? It's not a box and it's a race car. You don't have to buy your kid toys. You can do things, pots and pans and cardboard boxes and things you have around the house, and make them create the story. Those are all very important to the learning process, and that's something that we don't want to take away from children. When we replace free play with didactic teaching, we're missing some very critical elements. That's what the session's about.
The free workshop on the value of play is this Thursday, October 30th, at the Siskin Children's Institute located at 1101 Carter Street in Chattanooga. For more information on this and other free workshops, visit the web at www.siskin.org or call the Siskin Children's Institute at 423-648-1700. For Around and About, this is Rabbit.
Around and About is a production of WUTC with contributions by the staff and volunteers of WUTC.